Alright, we good? Cool. Okay. So first things first, level for your benefit again. Simon, Rodney, webcams on, Andre. There, change your preferences to millimeters. We know that already. Okay, we are going to start drawing on the right plane. Sorry, I like to draw on the top plane. You'll see why in a second. It doesn't matter which way you want to extrude, right? I'm going to draw on the top plane. But I'm going to hide the front and I'm going to hide the right. Okay, new sketch. Select the top plane, right click, view normal to sketch plane. Now here's what's important. You need to make sure that you know where the front is, which direction the front is. So currently looking down, front is around here, yeah? I'm not a huge fan of that. I like my front to be facing the left. So I'm going to turn this around so that the front is there. You can see if you raise this up, front. Make sense so far? I'm just orientating this correctly. Not correctly, it's better. Okay. Center point rectangle. Let's go with the 305 millimeter thing, right? Just for fun. Whatever. D for dimension. 305 in total. Okay. So we go to 75. Right. And the height was. Do you remember which one? So the height was 75. Let's say you did make this mistake and you accidentally did the width wrong. You don't need to delete everything you've done, right? You can go back to the sketch, double click on it, and double click on the dimension and turn that to 40. Because we based it around our center point, it'll be okay. And there we go. Cool. Now, the blanks we're going to give you will be wedge shaped. So just again, make sure that the front is there and the other sides are, well, pretty self-explanatory. Now it's a wedge shape, so here, right click, view normal to sketch plane, line, there we go, D, was 20 wasn't it? Done. Okay, and I'm going to cut that off. It's already been selected, remove, done. Okay, this is the blank that we'll give you, and it'll have a hole here for the CO2 canister. Question to the classroom. If you are given this piece that is 305 millimeters long, are you going to start making your car? Are you going to base your car's first measurements out of the front edge? Or are you going to start basing your car's measurements off the back? So the first thing you'll do is you're going to cut this at 210, right? Which side are you going to cut? The back or the front? Well, a couple of reasons I'd get rid of the front is because the back will already have the hole drilled into it for the canister. And two, if you get rid of that stuff, you have more timber to actually work with. Okay, it's a lot easier to cut timber than to grow it. Yeah, so that's fine. Let's go back in here and let's do that cut now. So I'm gonna start a sketch on that plane. View normal to sketch plane doesn't matter. I'm looking at the right plane. Okay. Gonna draw a line on the floor there. Go up, escape D. From here to there, we want it to be 210. Done. Good practice is to, whoa, line. Good practice is to finish the shapes off so that it highlights it. And let's just extrude cut all of these. Alright, the best way to think about this is you're doing what you would do to the actual physical piece of balsa wood that you'll get, right, in term 4. So you get the piece of balsa wood, the first thing you'll do is measure from this face 210 mil and cut that off. Because now you can't physically go longer than that. Yeah? Right. Another thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just sketch on my right plane. Starting from here, whoops, go back to my right. Starting from, hang on, let's just convert this entity. There you go, construction line. Right, I'm gonna get another one, still on the construction line. I'm gonna call this what's the maximum height our car can be with the spoiler? Yeah, cool. We're gonna call that 65. There we go, right? Now we have a maximum height for our car as well. Depending on the piece of balsa wood you get, if the hole is all the way up here, what you'll do is you'll cut the bottom off, okay? But, sorry, I'm going to keep this sketch visible throughout the build, so I know that when I draw my car, it has to be shorter than this, even with the spoiler on. Now, let's use the spline tool. Okay, sketch plane. You can sketch on the right plane or this side plane. I would sketch on this side plane because then you have access to these lines and you can base your sketch off there. Right, so we're on the right side face of the car, not our right plane. Okay, right click, view normal to sketch plane, new tool, spline tool, right up there. Click it. Spline's quite as simple as tool. It's like a line, but once you click and let go, you can make that bend anywhere you want, right? So the more you click, the smoother this line's going to be. Now, obviously, as you can see, if you don't stop clicking, or if you don't exit it, you're not going to get rid of this. The way to exit that is to hit escape, and it'll cut it off, right? And you can't do a spline that intersects its own path like that. It has to be an open spline. See? You hit escape without clicking, it'll cut it off at the last point. So come on, Zed. Let's just try and make a car side profile here. I'm going to start around there somewhere. Bring it up. You know what? I'm going to change the material of this blue box so you can see this better. There we go. Make it a bit darker grey. Okay, now you'll be able to see it properly. Not that tool. New sketch on the right plane, on the right face of the car, which is what we selected. We are already viewing down. Okay. Start around here, just depending on your car, your design. That blue is shocking. Okay, gonna go up. There's my wheel arch, or my car's wheel. Okay, if I don't hit escape, that line is going to follow and this entire thing is going to be affected by it, so hit escape. There we go. Okay, sort of a side profile for a car. Hit escape again to get rid of the spline tool, and you can now click these points on the spline and wow, it is super laggy. And you can drag them around. Okay, so there's that little tip for you. Get that there. Now we can move these around to make this car suit what we want to do. And you see that pulling one point affects a whole lot of other points as well. Okay, let's call that. I'm satisfied with this for now. We're going to get rid of the top half. I like to complete the sketch, so I can cut it. You'll see it goes grey. Get out of that. Remove. Click, click. And extrude out. Done. Okay. Everyone happy with that so far? Have I lost anyone? No? Brilliant. Right. Now we're going to work on the top sort of the shape. So, you know, as you can see, they didn't do much apart from put a pointy thing there. I'm going to do a bit more. I'm just going to hide sketch. You know, I'm going to rename this to reference. I'm going to call that ref, so it's my reference sketch. I'm going to hide my ref. Couple of ways you can draw. Now, I'm going to cut out. Where do you think I could start my sketch? Do you think I could start it up here? Could I draw on this surface? Nope. Okay, because it's a curve. It doesn't have a flat surface. Could I draw on this surface? Cool. I can draw on that surface, and I can also draw on the top plane because our car is sitting on the top plane. So that's completely up to you where you want to draw it on. I'm going to draw it on this surface because then I have access to these lines, right? So sketch there. If I view normal to sketch plane, it's going to go the upside down, but I'm just going to rotate it till I can see the top. Cool. Tip 1, why we centered it around the midpoint, around the origin. Create a construction line from the origin that kind of intersects this dead down the middle. Okay, and hit escape. 1. Second, we're gonna now, you can use the spline tool if you want to for this, or you can use a line tool. That's completely dependent on how your car looks. I'm gonna start here. Actually, I'm gonna start on the point. Bring it out a bit, give it a curved nose. That's not gonna work. Let's do this properly. Let's go with center point. I'm not going to do the maths. You can do the maths if you want to on this, right? Just depending on what you want to do. There we go. I'm going to start. That's my nose. And spline. Touching this. I don't want it touching that, but that's okay. I'm just going to change it later. And hit escape. I think I made a mistake touching this line because if you look closely, that spline is going outside the shape, right? So we don't want this here. So I'm going to click on this blue coincident, and whoops, nope, just click on the blue coincident and hit delete, and you should be able to move this point inside. If you don't hit delete, you won't be able to move the coincident point inside, right? Why did I do the circle? I don't know, because I thought it was fun to do. Good, that looks tangential. We can set a tangential relationship with that. Go in here, go tangent. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, it won't let me. Whatever, we tried, yeah? Because we've got this center point, this construction line going down the center, we can get our snip tool and snip that off and snip this off. And that's half of our car done. It's going to be near impossible, can be done, if you are going to manually draw this profile on this side as well. So what we are going to do is what? Can someone tell me what the next thing we'll do is? Mirror it. Thank you. What was that, Eric? Ah, feels so much better after the smoothie. Now to mirror, it's this button here. Click that. It's going to select a mirror line. If you're mirroring sketches, they have to be mirrored along a line or opposed to a line, right? So select a mirror line. We're going to select this. Select entities to be mirrored. Pick that. And make sure that circle's picked too. Right? And that's done. Your mirroring is complete. Over. Let's finish the sketch. Do you understand what I'm doing by finishing this sketch? Yeah, cool. Just, you know, creating that cut part. See, it all goes gray. Done. Extrude, remove, click that, and let's go all the way up. Merge scope, merge with all. They don't intersect. Guys. Oh, duh. Make sure you click all of the sketches. Alright. Merge with all. Done. So, that's your basic car. Right, now I'm going to start shaping this back cutoff. I don't like this. It's not very aerodynamic. It's got the aerodynamics of the back of a brick. So sketch again. Let's go on the right plane. View normal too. We could go straight line. We could go spline. I'm going to go with the spline. And just until you're happy. Escape. While we're here, let's do the front as well. I'm going to be putting a spoiler here. So, I'm going to start like there. Bring it in. And bring it down. I'm going to complete these sketches in a bit, but before I do that, I want to show you another tool on how you can put a radius here. See this button there, sketch fillet? So it's essentially exactly like a fillet on a surface, but on the sketch. Pick that, pick the point, and you can change the radius to 10. Okay, let's leave it to 10. Nice smooth corner. Let's finish these two sketches off. Let's complete them, sorry. Alright. What's the next thing that we're going to do? Remove? Yeah. Okay, good. Pick that. Remove. Now, since we're in the right plane, we are centered along our car, right? Which means we've got to remove symmetrically and pick, pick. Just make sure it goes through all of them. Done. Okay, so I got a spot for my spoiler to go in, and I've got that back kind of neater than I thought that I'd like. Actually, not a fan. Double click. Go normal to sketch plane. I want this a bit more pronounced. And that should cut it for us as well. Boom. Okay, much better. Done. Next, I'll show you how to do the wheels. So, like in this model here, you can see how the wheels are sort of inset. Right, we're going to do that. That's a bit tricky because you have to create an offset plane, right? Remember we did that with the pencil box? Creating an offset plane? That's exactly what we're doing here. So, plane. We're going offsetting through the right. I'm going to go to my front view. Entity is to offset it off, right plane. And now, ideally, when you're doing this, you'll figure out exactly how far you want to go, right? You'll know the width of your car, and you'll subtract it. Whatever. I don't expect you to do that today. I'm gonna bring it as close to that line as possible. Tick. Okay, and hide the right plane. And we've got our plane there to cut the wheel arches out of. Right, so let's draw the wheel arches on that plane. Sketch plane. Did I lose anybody? Lachlan, Mark, webcams. If you're losing me, guys, I'm serious. Don't worry. Go do the other videos because you'll be wasting time otherwise. Do this if you're understanding what's happening, okay? Right. I need to figure out where I'm going to put my back axle because the two wheel diameters are different, okay? So here, construction line. Let's start from the origin. Actually, before I do that, escape, click that. Use project. So now we got that line on our plane. See? That's there. Convert this to a construction line. Get that construction line. What's the diameter of the back wheel? 40 millimeters, right. And what's our ground clearance? Minimum, maximum, or minimum? 1.5 millimeters, right. So we got the diameter of the back wheel at 40. We got our ground clearance at 1.5. Let's call it 2 to be simple. Where do you think we should be able to place this, the back axle? How high off the ground? Anybody? 15, you say, Arik? Okay, 15 would give us almost a 10 mil ground clearance, right? 5 mil. So we could do that. Let's bring, yeah, so 15 is good. Ideally, you want the radius, which is 20, plus 1.5. Minus 1.5. So you would want it at 18.5. So we can go with 17. Yeah? Not 17. Oh my god. Maths. Yeah. So 1.5 mil ground clearance would bring it to reduce the diameter to 40, 28. This is, see, my inability to do basic arithmetic is now being recorded. This is great. Yeah, let's call it 17. Alright, good. We're still in a construction line setting. Center point circle. Click on the line. Dimension it to 40. Enter. And you'll see that from there to there, that should be 3 mil. Okay? 3 mils. Okay. If you want to change that, double click here and go 18. And that'll bring it to 2 mil. Right, it's up to you how you want to do it. Let's make it as low as possible. And now you can move this wheel around along this axis to figure out where you want to have your back wheel. Okay, I want the back wheel around there. Maybe here. Nah, there. Right. Front wheel is 35 millimeters in diameter. 35 or 30? 30, right? Okay, so another line there. Let's dimension that from here to here. 15. Bring it down. We can make it. Let's call it 13. Give us a 2 mil ground clearance. Construction line D30. Alright, good. 2 mil ground clearance, 2 mil ground 2 mil ground clearance and 2 mil ground clearance on both wheels. So now we know that our car, when it's set dead straight, it's nice and flat. You can move the axles up and down to change the rake of the car. Okay, you can Yeah, no, I did 13. I didn't do 13.5 because I... Oh, fine. Okay, let's go the absolute minimum then. Right. Okay, Marek, you happy? Let's go 18.5 here too. Happy? Good. Nice and low car. Sorry? Ah, yeah, there, again, depends on what Bunnings is selling at the time. What we usually do is we cut a little channel in there to put the hooks in. Right? Um, okay, now, one important thing is our wheelbase. It needs to be greater than 100. We can see that there's 128, so that's fine. Okay, I'm happy with where the wheels are here. That's fine. I've also got 20 mil to play with, so I can move these around until I am utterly satisfied with where things are. Okay, done. I'm going to close that sketch. I'm going to rename this and call it wheel reference, so wheel ref. That's what I'm going to use for to reference my wheels. Okay, everyone understand what's happening right now? Or are you like, what is happening? No? Very good, cool. Let's insert the back wheels into an arch here. Right, easiest way to do that is to sketch that plane, right click, view normal to sketch plane. A couple of ways you can do that, okay? You can firstly convert that to the plane we're sketching on. Get a center point circle. Figure out how much of an arch gap you want and do it like that. Okay, and then use that in conjunction with the spline tool to then like kind of figure that out. Alternatively, you've got that line there still. Get the spline tool and you can do it like this as well. Escape. Right? Can you see how that's going to cut out the wheel arch now? Okay, so there are a couple of ways you can do this. Okay, you know what? Since we're using computers, why not make it funky? Right, done. Close that sketch off. Complete the sketch. And we're okay here. The front wheels, I don't think I'm going to put them inside. I'm not going to insert them. Right. Next thing, we can hide plane 1 now. I'm going to now cut this, remove, look at the back, so you know how deep you're going. It's completely dependent on how wide your car is. I'm just going to insert it. What's this guy done? He's inserted by about 6 mil. So let's bring it out that much. Done. Okay. New thing that you are going to learn right now is how to mirror a feature. So we mirrored a sketch before. Now we're going to mirror a feature. So up here, you got mirror. Click that. Click on the down arrow and click feature. If you go part, you'll mirror the whole car. We want to mirror the feature. Features to mirror. Extrude 7. What plane do we mirror this off? Correct. Alright, good. So mirror it off the right plane. And this is why it's utterly important to center your drawing, your initial sketch, on the origin, because all the planes are bang on in the middle. Ideally, doing this the absolute correct way, if you really want to, you'd center this entire car in the middle, so at 105 millimeters either way, but don't worry about that. So that's there, that's in here, and tick. Done. Okay? That's the back. Now, we are going to hide the wheel ref drawing as well, the sketch. Let's go ahead and put a front wing on. Um, Actually, let's look at the wheel ref again, just to see if we're happy with the front wheel. You know, this could be a lot lower, can't it? Like, it doesn't need to be this high. The lower the front, the more aerodynamic the car is going to be. For example, yeah, okay. As you can see, your wheel is above the nose, right? So we're gonna, model it off. Engineers who are paid millions of dollars to do this, we are going to listen to their advice. So double click on sketch 5 and let's bring this down a bit. There we go. Done. Click the green arrow and it'll cut it down to that. So you don't need to go back and recut everything. You can just modify the sketch and it'll modify that entire tree. Okay, but be careful, because if you do something that doesn't make sense, the computer is just going to go all red and not really. It'll say errors have occurred. Okay. Good, that's there. Now that we have kind of fixed our wheel positions, let's go to wheel ref, double click, click that, and fix. Why won't you let me fix? Let's do it this way. Let's dimension this long line. Done. Why is it letting me fix it? Can anyone figure out? Oh, these bottom ones are anchored, so let's fix this position. And everything else is fixed. Brilliant. Don't worry about these measurements. I've just resolved this entire sketch so I can't accidentally move where my wheels are going to be now. So click, tick, done. Happy with that. Happy with the nose. Could be a lot thinner, but whatever. Okay. Let's put a front spoiler in. I'm going to base this off the right plane, straight down the middle. Wow, sunny. And we spoke about spoiler design last week, didn't we? Yeah, how we need to have a spoiler or a front wing facing downwards, right? It's facing down. Back wing facing down. Yeah, got it? Cool. I'm glad that model is coming in handy. I should have bought it this year to claim it on tax. Construction line. Actually, before we do that, let's convert some of these lines or these points. Done. So we know our limits. Okay. Our spoiler has to be within this box. It can't go below this line, because then if it goes below this line, it'll be intruding on the 1.5 millimeter gap to the floor. It cannot go in front of this, because then it's going to be longer than 210. Yeah? So we are aware of that. Construction line again. You want the front wing to be as low as possible to the surface. So I'm going to say, put it like there. Cool. I'm going to use a spline tool because I want this to be a super awesomely shaped wing. Escape, spline tool. What's the shortcut for the spline tool? Is it S? No, it's not S. Spline tool doesn't have a shortcut. So alright, that's my front wing profile. I'm going to now extrude this out. So done. Extrude. We're going to extrude this as a new part. Symmetric. Let's go to the top view so we can see how far this thing is extruding. What's the widest our car can be? 85 millimeters. Right. So if I go 85, does that go 85 in total? Yeah, that's 85 in total. That is far too wide for a wing for a car that's this narrow. We don't need this much downforce, so we can start bringing it back a bit. I'm gonna say there. Okay, done. That's that front wing there. Obviously, you know, you'll change this angle, make it look a bit better, and whatever you want to do to it. What's the next important thing, Zach, with the front wing? And can we have it? Okay, I need to post this wing somehow, right? So sketch, right plane. Now, in real life, you know what? I'm gonna do that anyway. If you look at a car, look at the F1 car, it's got two mounting posts, right? That is to stop the wing from shaking around or pivoting around one axle. Makes sense, right? You have a point there, very easy to flex. You've got 2 points, not so easy to flex. So we're going to do 2. I'm going to create another plane. Let's go to the front, figure out where we want this to be. Actually, yeah, that works. Could probably bring it out a bit more. Alright, plane's done. Hide the right plane. We're going to sketch on this plane. New normal to. Up to you what shape you want it. I'm just going to make this as simple as possible. Okay, done. It's going inside. Extrude. Pick that. Let's go with 2 mil. Okay, 2 mil that way, and it's coming out, so we had to flip our direction and to go 2 mil inwards. Right. 2 mil's too thick. Let's go 1.5. Done. We want to make this. We want to add it, and we want to merge it with all. Done. Okay, one post. And someone tell me, what's the next thing we're going to do to make the post the same on this side? Mirror. Fantastic. Mirror. Entities to mirror is extrude number 9. Mirror plane. Entities to mirror is extrude number. Oh, sorry guys. Feature. Features to mirror is extrude number 9. And mirror plane is the right plane. Done. And we have our front wing on 2 posts. You can then go into chamfer, fillet, and give it a nice profile if you want to. Okay, let's do the back wing now. We are going to keep this plane because we'll do the the back wing on that plane as well. The back wing posts. Okay, show the right plane again. View normal to. Now we want to see the ref line because we do not want to go above this. Yeah, because that's the legal side of things when it comes to these things. And on the right plane, construction line. It depends on how wide you want your wing to be, how long you want your wing to be. So it's completely up to you. I'm gonna go here. Escape. Let's put a spline on. Not convinced. Oh, by the way, if you really don't want to bother with the spline, you can go into ellipse, center it on the line, and there's your simple wing shape. Okay, that's completely up to you. In fact, you know what? Let's leave it as that, because I'm going to put winglets on the end of this. And tick, done, extrude that. Just look at it from the top. 85 is the maximum. Nah. Let's bring it in slightly. Okay, done. Same thing with the posts. Let's go to plane 2. Sketch on that. Plane 2, plane 2. Right click, view normal to. Extrude that the opposite direction at 1.5. Looking good. Right, that's there. Oh, sorry. Let's make this the same. So we're going to add, merge with all. And we want to mirror that around the right plane again. Plane 2 is done. Oy, oy, oy. Sorry guys, this is taking longer than I thought because I really get into this stuff, and you can see how you can spend hours doing it. Alright, entities to mirror. Nope, we're doing a feature. Extra 11. Mirror plane is the right. And that's our back wing posts. Now we're going to do winglets on the end. Really easy because we've got flat surfaces to sketch on. So I'm going to start a sketch on this surface. Right click, view normal to sketch plane, and let's put a fancy winglet on it. How do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Oh. Okay, I'm gonna get that line, I'm gonna extend that out. And I'm gonna extend this out as, whoops. Send that out as well. I'm gonna click this and I'm gonna click that. I'm gonna make that is collinear, does it have collinear? Parallel? Yes, I'm gonna make it parallel, so that goes parallel to that line. Click this and that. Make that parallel. Ooh, it doesn't want to do that. Because because that's horizontal. Okay. There we go. Right. Sorry about that. You don't need to do this step. I'm just showing you what can be done. Because I kind of would like it if you did something nice. Cool. Let's extrude this out by 1.5. Done. And what's next? Mirror. Correct. Fantastic. Good. Hey, we only got 14 in here now. Good. So we lost about... Wow. Ah, that's fine. I don't mind. Oh well, they probably realize that it's too much for them. That's okay. It's not. Look, I completely understand. Doing this work is not what everyone loves to do. It's fine. Just as you know, it's like not everyone wants to play football or not everyone wants to play an instrument. It's yeah, it's okay. I understand that. Mirror plane, right plane, done. Okay. That's You can also do the same. You can put winglets up the front too. You know what? Let's do that. Let's really quickly do that. I'm not going to talk through it. I'm just gonna just get it done. Um, and for those of you who are still around, good job. Good job. Ooh. Bring it up here and curve it out. Look, I'm not very satisfied with the shape of this, but I'm gonna keep it. As you can see, as DDA will tell you, you can spend hours on this. Isn't that right, Didier? You can spend hours and then forget you got maths homework, forget everything else, just do this because this is way more fun. Let's keep it at the 1.5 mil that we did. It's gonna look odd. It's gonna look very odd. Let's call it 1 mil. And let's mirror that too. Yes, Bradley. Bradley? Yes, Bradley. They have a purpose, yes. Can someone explain what the purpose is before I attempt to? Oh, I do. It is to direct airflow. It is to stop airflow doing something. Hang on, let me click OK. Alright, let's talk about that. Now, with the wing, right? Wing creates lift, which on the end creates vortices, right? So at the end of a wing, you have air. Remember we talked about pressure differences, did we? Did I? Yes. So the top has low pressure, bottom has high pressure. In a car, it's the other way around, okay? So we got low pressure, high pressure. So air wants to go from a high pressure zone to a low pressure zone, and it'll create swirly vortices. Yeah, and it'll create dirty air, and we don't like that because it creates a lot of on the wings. It does this. It goes from high to low. So by adding, I'm gonna get rid of this because if I and this is a MacBook Pro, so you can imagine I feel so bad for you guys with your little laptops. All right, with this here, so let's say we got air going from high pressure to low pressure, so it's doing this. By putting a winglet, you're stopping that happening. Right? It's gonna hit this, and it'll force the wind to just go straight through the back and not create turbulence. Okay, turbulence is bad. Um, it'll create it'll reduce downforce, or in an aeroplane it'll reduce lift, and it'll make it harder to control or drive. Fair? Does that make sense, Bradley? Does everyone get that? Cool. So remember this. Remember me when you're in year 10 or if you do physics in year 12, and you can be like, yeah, Mr. G taught us that, man. And you know what I don't like? I don't like this back. I'm going to bring it in. I'm going to cut it short. I'm listening. Yeah, well, I'm recording it now. It's, oh my god, it's 9.7 gigabytes, this video currently. Yeah. Well, mine's 54, so you set your phone up late. Fair, fair. Look, I'll edit this and put it up. Um, Well, good to see that you're keen. You were gonna... No, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, Livil wanted to, like, record this, but he's gone. Yeah. I'll put a password on it and I'll just give it to you guys. Alright, here we go. Now let's put the wheels on here and let's go. And in fact, you know what? I don't like this either. No, I don't mind it. Looks like a car. Let's put the wheels on. Let's draw the back wheels on our wheel plane. You know what you should definitely be doing, guys? You should... Oh, sorry. There are less than 10. There's 8 of you and 1 of me. It's alright. This is the... Who are you? You got Zach, Nick, Matt, Luke. What? Okay. Better? Alright, we got Eric, Brad, Didier, Luke. Luke, you there? Matt, Nicholas, and Zach. Alright, you guys get A pluses anyway. You don't even need to finish this. Alright, let's finish this. Not, try and figure out that plane that we cut this off. Would have been plane 1, right? Yeah, plane 1. I'm going to use plane 1 to draw my back wheel on. Really easy to draw the back wheel. Just convert that entity over. Not as a construction line, as like a normal one. Extrude, go to your back. Now, the thickness of the back wheel was 15, correct? I think it was. Okay, so we're going to go in 2 directions. On the second end direction, which is in, we're going to go with, let's see, how much can we play with? Ooh. Let's call it 7. Alright. And then let's call this 8. And that'll give us 15. Yes? Is my maths accurate? It is. Good. Whew. How embarrassing. Alright, that's a new part. Done. For the wheels. And then we can mirror it apart. But I'm going to do the front wheel as well, and then we'll mirror both of those together. Just making the workflow a bit simple. Front wheel, let's start that on here as well. Yeah, we can do that. Alright. Sketch plane. View normal to convert that. Boom. Front wheel was, let's go out by 4. Okay. Remember the front wheel also has these weird hubs on it, so I'm going to put them into sketch. Right click, view normal to sketch plane. Center point, find the center, draw it. I think it's 5 mil. Okay. Extrude. We're going to go in 2 directions. One direction is going to be 5. The second direction is going to be 5 minus, no, 5 plus 9. It's going to be 9. Okay, so the wheel's going to be cutting into here. We'll have to change that. Right. Wait, why is that a new part? No. Merge scope, that. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to cut into the car by a bit, just so I can fit that front wheel in. This is just me being pedantic. You don't have to do this. You can just put your wheels out of it. remove. Merge with this. Change the view to shaded with hidden edges. There we go. That'll do. Alright, let's first mirror. Oh, let's get rid of this now. Shaded. Let's first mirror this little cut that we did. Do you see why I did the cut there? Right, it was being weird. Right, I was that was my fault, not the program's fault. We're gonna mirror a feature. Feature is that, and we're gonna mirror it off the right plane. Right, done. Let's hide this plane as well. And let's hide the wheel ref. Wow, so many sketches. Can someone see? There we go, wheel ref. And let's hide the big ref as well. Cool. And let's hide the origin. Don't need that anymore. Why didn't I? Let's hide the origin. Right, now let's do one mirror function. I'm gonna change this part to a wheel color. Oh, never go black. There we go. And part 3 as well. And while we're here, guys, before we mirror it, to make it a whole lot easier for us and make it a bit nicer. If someone asks you why you did that, you just reply with why not, and that usually shuts them up. Okay, mirror. Mirror, entity is the mirror. We've got that we're going parts now, so pick that part. We're still picking parts. We'll pick that part, so we're mirroring 2 parts along the right plane. And there you have your car. Alright, that is, whoa, an hour and 4 minutes.